Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble dungeon guide, I'm going to show you the best army for taking on Blackfathom Deeps with Baron Rivendare. You can also use the same army with Bloodmage Thalnos and with slight modifications with Sylvanas, because Sylvanas can't buff the Pyromancer, so that makes it a little bit different. But my old guide for Sylvanas works perfectly fine. First, let's take a quick look at the dungeon mechanics. The first boss, Grglmrgl, there's basically two strategies that you can use for Grglmrgl. Either you spam it with unbounce, and it is fairly simple to take down with unbounce, or you go into a longer battle of attrition, try to take maybe both towers, at least this tower, then try to get your troops through here. But there's this choke point here which makes it a little awkward, and then there's going to be a lot of free Murlocs, because there will be Murlocs here, there will be Murlocs here, so they're all going to shoot down at your troops, so you have to have some way to handle them. And then these Murlocs here are going to run to this platform, and then the southernmost of them is actually going to be able to shoot at your base from there. So they need something like a safe pilot or Wellpex or something to be able to handle those. So over time I have grown more and more used to using the unbound strategy for Grglmrgl, and even if you need a couple of tries to get it done, then it's the first boss, it's pretty quick to restart, so overall that just seems to spend less time than any other strategy on this boss. The second boss, Baron Aquanis, is known for many gargoyles and also 3 Dark Eye miners that will spawn whenever there's enough gold to be mined on the veins. So for this one, the gargoyles are definitely a problem. Once you're lower level, then gargoyles can really easily kill your base. Early on lower difficulty levels, you can just attack here, take this tower and move through here and kill the boss. But on higher difficulty levels, you typically also need to take this tower. There's also a third tower there, but I never take that, I just ignore that one. You typically need both of these 2 towers so that your base will not succumb to gargoyle attacks, because otherwise gargoyles are just going to be attacking you too much. However, once I started putting Chimera into my army, I have noticed that sometimes I am able to just repel the initial attack and have enough troops go over here that I can actually take down the boss. It doesn't happen very often, but it has happened a few times. It's not something that I actively pursue, but if I see an opportunity, I'm more like opportunistic about that. If I see that, okay, the first attack is coming hard from here, and I'm able to fight back, and I'm able to destroy it, and I have good forces left, then I try to make the push. But otherwise, I just try to take the towers first and then work on the boss. And the third boss, Aquanis, is a 3-headed Hydra, 1 head over here and over there, the third one over here. And once you have killed all the 3 heads once, then this waterfall is going to go away and all 3 heads will spawn over there and you have to fight against them again. Other than that, Aquanis is really going to swarm you with stuff. As you can see, there's already a bunch of stuff here ready to swarm me. And you really need a way to handle swarms with some AoE minis in this one. And also it's super important to kill this head and take this tower right at the start, because there's not a lot of gold in this map. There's a vein over here and another vein over there, so not very accessible, and chest is over there. So securing this area means that 1 head is down and you have secured this gold vein, and then you're in a good position to defend this and attack from here and also get some attacks going over there. And that's pretty much what happens at Aquanis. This is my army for Baron Rivendare. So I'm using Necromancer, Skeleton Party, Earth Elemental, Pyromancer, Wellpex and Execute, with the idea that the first boss is going to be the unbound strategy. So Earth Elemental is going to tank, Skeleton Party does most of the damage, maybe some little bit of damage from Wellpex as well, and Execute can give them Bloodlust, so they just whack the first boss. Then the second boss, the Gargoyle Land, you need something that can shoot down gargoyles, and Pyromancer is by far the best mini to shoot down some gargoyles. So Pyromancer is my main anti-gargoyle tool, but both Necromancer and Skeleton Party can also contribute for this, so there are still fine minis in the second boss as well. And then for taking the tower in the middle of poison, I can send an Earth Elemental to tank it, and I can drop Wellpex into the poison lake, and then they're just going to help me take the tower, and that gives me more tools to fight against the boss. And then the third boss, we're just going to try to take the tower and then kill all of the heads, and all of these tools are quite suitable for that. And this is what it all looks like in action. So here we go, Grglmrgl with some quick unbound spam. So this time I don't have Skeleton. Now I notice I have Skeleton Party coming, so I can drop the Earth Elemental to tank and then the Skeleton Party to attack. I can also drop some Wellpex around there to take a bit of a hit from the Ogre Mage, and then a little bit of Execute, getting some Bloodlust in, and Now damage is coming in on the boss. The boss sadly does not quite die to that, but I just cycle up a little bit again and I'm ready to go with another round. So while the boss's minis are still on their way, the boss used the minis defensively because I was putting on a lot of pressure. They are far away from my base, so I have enough time to send a new squad. And this time there's the Ogre Mage coming, so I think I want to challenge the Ogre Mages. I'm sending out the Pyromancer. Pyromancer will help me clear the Ogre Mage so it doesn't deal too much damage to my base. And then, boom, the boss goes down. And next up is Baron Aquanis with all of the gargoyles. So this time no gargoyle at the opener, instead there's all the other flyers. And I can't find my Pyromancer, so that's a little bit awkward, because Drake and Batrider can really deal a lot of damage to his minis, especially when I don't have a Pyromancer that would just kill them all at once. But be that as it may, we managed to get something going. We have Earth Elemental tanking, and we have the Necro attacking, and I have a Pyromancer coming, which should come just in time to fight against that gargoyle that's coming from the left side now. So here we go, Pyro. We got the Pyroblast splash damage on the gargoyle, which is very important, because that makes sure that the gargoyle dies fast enough. And alright, we survived the initial push, and we got the first tower. So next thing I want to get that other tower. Here I'm trying to protect the Necromancer a little bit against the Banshee. That protection is successful. I should have dropped the Whelbex into the Poison Lake while the tower was occupied with the Necro. That would have been actually really good, because then the Poison X would have... the X would have been able to take the tower probably over there. But they should still be fine here. I was thinking whether I need to use an Execute to help them. I did not. I have access to 2 towers. That's exactly what I want. Now that I have 2 towers, I need to defend the towers with something at least, so that I won't lose them too early, and then I try to push especially from this leftmost tower. And at some point, once the push is going well enough, I can also just stop defending my towers. I won't have to keep them up all the time. I can lose the tower once the push is on the boss, and I can use some unboss on the... One of the most difficult things in this map is to decide when exactly do you want to stop defending and when you just want to keep pushing. And now we have, well, that's a lot of skeletal mages. Yep, many skeletal mages. Unfortunately, that also means that there's going to be a lot of vultures. Yikes. Yeah, so this point was definitely not the point where I should stop defending. But the gargoyle is quite far away. So I should have enough time, I think. So now I have 2 alternatives. Either I commit everything into the push, or I defend the tower first and buy myself some more time. Let's see, I'm trying to decide which action should I take. And I'm deciding to push here, but now I started to realize that, okay, that may have been a bad idea. Maybe I didn't actually have what it takes to push. Yep, starts to look like I did not actually have what it takes to push. And now, tough decisions. I opt to send a Pyromancer to help me defend, and then try to mine a little bit and get a push with that Necro. That should be enough. Go, 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 go. Some execution, and boom, boss goes down. Right. And the final boss, Aquanis, so we need to get some Hydra heads down. First, trying to attack the leftmost head with the tower, because I really need to get that head down, and I need to get that tower so that I will secure some gold. There's not a lot of gold in this map, so it's important to secure some gold for yourself. And also remove that gold from the opponent. So here we go, trying to push. Can we get enough damage in? We're working on it. And get some Whelbex out there to support. Okay, the head is down, good. But there's still potential for a lot of minis to arrive from the tower. As you can see, there's stuff coming from the tower right now. A lot of stuff coming from the tower right now. But Pyromancer together with an army of skeleton. Even more stuff coming from the tower, okay. Pyromancer is desperately trying to beat them all back. Getting quite close there. And I'm about to lose the Necro. Phew, even the Necro survived. That was actually wonderful. Okay, so now from this position, I typically win this map. Sometimes I can still end in a draw if I just don't have enough firepower to kill the bosses. But if I can secure this position, then typically it's a win. So here we go. Getting some kind of attack on the left side and getting some kind of attack on the right side as well. Sadly, this time those harpies, oh dear. Those harpies were dealing a lot of damage. And that means that both of my attacks are looking a little bit bad. But on the other hand, I'm not under any serious pressure, so I definitely have time to just get more gold back and defend. Now, that Quillboar combined with the Raptors was really bad news, because that means that the tower is now going to try to shoot at the Quillboar, and the tower will not stand unless I provide more support. Those Whelpecks probably should have been spent on the other side of the bridge, because now it looks like they're just going to do nothing, while the Necromancer is trying to survive. Yeah, too bad. Those eggs didn't really help. But Necro is still doing a fine job. We're sending a sacrificial Earth Elemental, so that the head will have something to shoot at. And then... so much stuff coming all the time. Alright, but we're working on it, Trying to challenge both of the heads. We get that head down. Now we have pretty sizable army there, but if they hit the waterfall before the waterfall goes down, then they will just die. The waterfall insta-kills those minis. So now I really would want to get this head down, but I don't seem to have what it takes. As an upside, there's so much stuff coming from the other side of the waterfall that my army stopped to actually fight against them. And that kept them alive until they were actually overwhelmed. So in the end, that worked out really well, actually, because that army fought against a lot of incoming enemy troops, did a lot of work there, and did not lose them for nothing to the waterfall. There would be a full spot to mine on the left side. Now, unfortunately, the AI is going to get that. Yeah, there's that kobold going for it. And it's already overtime as well. So, as you can see, this is like the problem. Sometimes you get the leftmost head and you get the tower, but then you still might struggle to push hard enough. I'm trying to get one big push going from here and then support that with unbounds. But that constant stream of Quillboars, there's just endless amounts of Quillboars coming. And those Quillboars just keep coming. So they slowed my army down quite a bit, but now I managed to get the first head down, and now I have a really big army, which means that this size of army is going to get the heads down really fast, as long as there wouldn't be so many Quillboars. Alright, well, there's enough time. 15 seconds, this is completely fine. The heads are going down, and that's Blackfathom Deeps. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.